Welcome to Paulstoolbox. Today I got my son Blake helping me out.
Today we're going to be making some barn doors for his closet and his bathroom.
Cool stuff. We're going to be using 2x6s. What do these things cost?
$5.88 a piece at Lowe's.
Not bad. $5.88 a board. When you purchase wood, you let it sit in your house, put it on a nice, in a dry area, leave it there for a week or two before you even decide to cut on it and build your doors. That's super important. Now, the next thing to do is we already checked this, right? Blake and I went through these boards, got the straightest ones we could. Remember, these are $5.88 a board, so you have to you got to pick through the piles to get some straight ones, and you eyeball them pretty darn good. Did a great job of that. They're pretty slick. You can use this, but I want to make sure that we have a good straight edge, perfect straight edge. So we're going to take it and run it on the planer right here. This is a joiner planer, and you'll hear it. It'll hit, and it'll stop, it'll hit, and that's because you have a little bit of high and low spots. Even though we picked out great wood, none of it's going to be exactly perfect unless we plane it. This door's already made. We're going 4.5 inches on my stiles. The rails, 2 of them are going to be 4.5 inches, my 2 top ones. The bottom one is going to be 5.5 inches. Run that through one more time. Looking pretty good.
Yeah, we got a lot out of here.
Yeah. A lot more than it looked like, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I try to be Mr. Safety, and I forgot to use my mask on the table saw. I'm just gonna get a clean edge on this side, flip it over, and then we'll get our measurements, because I don't want a rough edge on here. I want a nice clean edge. Safety first, right, buddy?
Yep.
I put my square right up against the side, and I can hold it tight. This has a little groove, shows you right where 0 is on this blade when your plate is here. I'm going to use this board for my rails. So I'm going to clean this edge off. My first one I cut, I'm going to put P on. That's my pattern. Every one of them follows this one. If you're 1/64th of an inch off and you cut 64 boards, and use a different one each time, you'll be an inch off at the last one. So I always put 1 as your pattern. We're back over by the planer joiner, and when I say planer joiner, when you're doing the edge, it's for joining wood together. That's what you're doing. You're cleaning up the edge for a joint to make these two joints come together and be as one. Now when you plane it, you're going to plane the height of it, or the thickness of it down. That's why I call this a 6-inch planer joiner, because it could go up to 6 inches wide. So we're plenty good here. We're going to clean off these boards, these 4 rails, and then we're going to hit the stiles and run these over. I'm running probably 2 passes on each side. It'll take right about 1/8 of an inch off. I take 1/8 of an inch off, we're going to be the right thickness of the regular doors, which is 1 3/8 inches. When you hit these on the edges and the top, look what you have. You put these boards together and you have a nice smooth surface. So I won't have to do a lot of sanding when I put these together. They're going to join really well. Now my board's 1 3/8 inches. This is white pine. It's real soft. So I'll cut up to 1 inch. But if I was doing a hardwood, I'd work my way up. I'd do no more than 1/2 inch and then 1 inch on my groove, because it's a lot harder to take a chunk out of that with hardwood, and you don't want it kicking back on you or burning up your saw. 2 of these boards I'm gonna have to make double cuts on because that's my center board. And then the rest of them are all gonna have 1 cut. When you put this in the exact track position, like right here, this comes up. So when this rides up, it's gonna follow what I have there. All I have to do is push down on it and I can follow that exact cut. So now we're gonna copy the big piece. And it doesn't matter if you put this on a full sheet of plywood, you cut all your sides around it. You can copy anything like this. So we'll take our Works clamps from Pegasus Sawhorses over here. Works has a lot of cool stuff. And this is definitely one of my favorites. You can copy slab doors, you can copy all kind of things with this. It makes it much easier to duplicate things.
Got everything cut.
And we're gonna use the pocket hole set. This is by Craig, the K4. I'm gonna show you how it works. This is a great way to put your doors together. It's not the only way, but it is a great way. It works well. This kit comes with everything you need. Here's the drill bit. You have a set screw right here, and they give you an Allen wrench key, but I use a large one right here because I lose that single key all the time. Now, you take your bit, you set it in here. You see the flat part? That you want to match up with the number that corresponds with your thickness of the wood. This is 1 3/8 inch thick, so I'm going to set this flat part up to 1 3/8. That's all you do. Then you take and you tighten this up, and it's set. Once you set that in your drill, boom, you're ready to go. Right here, I marked a line down the center. I marked the center of each board. So what I'm going to do now is set it in here. This plunger right here has a little nut on it, and you can back it up, tighten the nut up, and you set it to where it's on here and it snugs it up. You don't want to have it too tight or too loose. You want it just to snug on there. So we have that part set. Now if you look over here, they have a little dial. You'll loosen that up and you move it to the thickness of the wood you have. We have 1 3/8 inch thick wood, so that's where we're going to move this to. 1 3/8. We tighten that up and we're ready to go. Notice I get a little bit of speed first. I don't just hit it on the wood and then turn my trigger because I don't want to splinter the wood. Get a little bit of speed. We release it. We have 2 nice pocket holes right in the center. Okay, here's a very important step. You have your groove already set. You take your square and you line it up right to the edge. When you have this combination square set to where it matches this edge, you're going to tighten it down and we'll go back to the saw. Now on the saw we need to get the height. This is already locked down. We're going to set it right on here and put your blade at the very tip of it, the highest point. Get that carbide tip at the highest point. You raise your blade till it touches that. When it touches that, we know our depth is right. Make sure it's set at 90 degrees, exactly. And I will double check it with a square, just to be safe. We're on the money right here. Good. Now I need to measure from here to the outside of this, and I need to be right under an inch. We take this, we loosen it up, slide it over. That would be an inch right there, and I'm gonna go in between an inch and 15/16. That means that I'm taking a 32nd of an inch off. Right at it. We're gonna run it this way, flip it over and run it the other way. See what we got. It's not quite fitting, so we're gonna go just a tiny bit up on the blade. That's why you wanna play with a scrap piece. Once you have it down and your blade set exact, you're good. So we need to go up just a hair. Try it again. All I have to do is go back and forth on here because you're taking off like not even a 64th of an inch. I just barely went up. We're close. Now this is going to be one of the strongest seams you'll ever have. You take this and you put pocket screws in it and this baby ain't going anywhere. So let's get it to slide in first. You can see I don't have glue, I don't have anything holding it together yet, and it's not moving. I run a couple of pocket screws in there, it's going to suck it together, and that's it. You got a good solid door there. I completed 3 of my doors the other day, and I have one more to do. There was some things that I didn't cover, and I want to make sure you understand everything about this. When you go to make your cuts, do one door. Make your template, everything for one door. You take all your pieces, and you copy that one, and it's going to really roll fast for you. Your first one might take you a little time, but after that, you roll with it. Another thing is, I use my little work saw to make all these cuts. But I just wanted to show you can do it on a cheap end. A good miter saw is the best way to do it. A good miter saw is going to give you accurate cuts, and it enables you to do perfect cuts every time. You can just put a little block on it, a stop block, and everything's going to match. Now remember, one of these has to be double cut because it's a center board. It needs to have a cut here to accept plywood and here. All of my rails are 15 inches because I need 13 inches across here, and then I've got an inch on both sides. So I'm going to step this back an inch on this side and match my tenon right here. I've already cut one. You remember we made a template the other day. So all I have to do is set it up to that to match. As long as you don't go past 13 inches here, we make sure that you're an inch in. As long as you don't go past that, you're fine. If you cut your tenon and it happens to be longer this way, you can always trim your tenon off to get it in a slot. But you can't stretch this part, so make sure this is accurate. Here's a little safety tip. When you're cutting this and notching this out or dadoing it out, you see that end right there? That could pop out at you and hit you. So I stand to the side a little bit when I'm cleaning this up, just in case it goes flying. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Now for the fun part. I want to show you just how easy this is once you make your cuts and everything's ready to put together. It's going to go together just like a puzzle. I'm going to take my piece, flip it right side up. I'm going to take my glue, and I'm going to put it on my plywood after I glue this piece right here. And I want an ample amount of glue on there. You can get a wet rag and wipe the excess off after. Take and slip this in place. Slides in, like I said, just like a puzzle. Take that and slip it in place. Push it down. If you do this correctly, it's easy street. I'm using Tight Bond wood glue, and I use it a lot. It's a good wood glue. I like this glue bot in a way because it enables you to keep the tip clean. It sucks the glue back into the glue bot when you're not using it. This thing has a vacuum, it has a seal on here, and it sucks it back down. You put your cap on it, and you don't have to dig around the top all the time. It's a little bit more awkward than your regular glue bottle to use normally, but you never have to worry about this tip, which drives me nuts. All right, so now, do the bottom end. Same thing, or this is the top end. I messed up. That's the top, that's the bottom, so I gotta flip it over. Tap it in just a little bit. We're gonna drop a square on it. Make sure everything is nice and square. Because I'm not gonna use pocket screws on this one. I wanted to show you how you could take and use pocket screws, or you can just glue it. We're square, man. This is perfect. Not that I need it, but I'm gonna take a little break and let this dry. Okay, Blake and I have these doors done. Get ready to go in. I have a piece of 3/8 inch tile. We're setting it on top of that to give us a space off the floor. That's cool, right there. On the next video, what we're gonna do is stain these and get a really cool look. So I can't wait for that.
And then once I come back to town, we're gonna get all the hardware and show you how this is done. Correct?
Yep, can't wait.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, that's it for now. If you guys don't mind, don't forget to subscribe. And please, ring the bell.
And also, if you found this video useful, please hit that like button and comment.
I'm excited to tell you guys I'm going to be working with Brian Gurr, the American Builder. We're going to be on the Action TV channel and on Tough TV. The schedules will be on Paulstoolbox. We'll see you guys later.